Okay. We are back. Week 2, Sunday morning quarterbacks, presented to you by the Wise Guys Diamond Club, the best gambling VIP on the planet. As y'all know, I'm Sosa the Locksmith, resident genius. Our other co-host Rex is not available yet, but he should be in here soon. Again, appreciate everyone that's been tapping in. Last week, we gave y'all a shit ton of winners. DFS money, Lord Jesus, Spin went crazy with the DFS. I don't think he missed a play. So again, appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we're back this week. A lot of great matchups. Some of our favorite analysts are back. They get to go head to head this week. I'm pretty excited about that one. But Spin, welcome in, man. What are your thoughts so far, man? How about that week 1 performance?
Oh, hey, DFS was kind, but this is a new week, man. I just sent a whole out to VIP. I sent a whole pack card with tournament GPP cash game. Sent everything, man. We got start sit. The big thing that, and I tweeted this out earlier in the week, but pay attention to practice reports, because if you're thinking about fantasy, you're thinking about betting a guy's prop, practice reports are a huge clue into what a guy's status is going to be. Case in point is that Michael Pittman was limited in practice on Wednesday. He then moved to did not practice on Thursday. Guys, when that happens, that guy ain't going to play. It happened to Alvin Kamara. It happened to so many other guys. You got to pay attention to practice reports, because otherwise now you're scrambling Sunday morning like, oh, shit, my guy's out. What do? I got to find
you like me right now?
You got to find a replacement. I'm telling you, watch the practice reports. Teams give huge clues as far as who's going to play and who's not. But I'm ready to get into it. Let's go. First
matchup on the board, 2 of our favorite guys. Y'all are familiar with them. Jammer Bets, San Miguel, Mr. Michael Means Jr. They joined us last year, gave us lots of money. I don't know why I was betting on Hunter Henry, but this guy had me making money off him last year, so I continued to bet it. Let's welcome them in. Pittsburgh Zone, Jammer Bets, from the Foxborough Times, my guy, Mr. Michael Means Jr. How y'all feeling this morning?
Hey, okay.
Feeling great.
Hey, okay.
That's what I like. That's what the energy I like. Okay.
For real.
Right. So yeah, man, we're gonna let Mike go first because his team lost last week.
Oh, but it's all right. Like I said, don't take us serious until like week 6. You know what I mean? But we'll return the favor to Jammer, because I really don't think Steelers have it today. Jammer, your thoughts?
Oh man, we're still riding off that high from week 1, man. That was an incredible win out in Cincinnati. The Steelers moved to 44-17 versus the Bengals in my lifetime. So, little brother's always going to be the little brother.
That's a hell of a number.
Hey, you know what I noticed about the Steelers?
What's that?
And I mentioned this yesterday on Spaces. These ain't your grandpa Steelers. These ain't your like father Steelers. These is like some little kids that was happy about beating the Bengals and dancing like it was 1999 on TikTok. And, they like having fun. They're fun guys. Like, right. This ain't a team you expect to win a championship, right, Jimmer? Right?
So hold on right there. So you say it's not my grandfather or my father's Steelers, but
no.
throughout the history,
these ain't the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the Pittsburgh
Steelers defense has always been great. This is the first time in franchise history where the defense had 7+ sacks and 4 INTs in the same game.
Wow.
Throughout the years, all those great defenses, man, that week 1 performance was one for the ages on defense. We're not going to talk about the offense.
So. Juju off the team, but his spirit is still there.
Hey, good enough to win. Good enough to win. That's what it was.
Defense championships, right?
That's right.
Y'all not going to – hey,
something like that.
I figured out last night that y'all not going to beat us.
What do you mean
I figured out last night we're going to go and take these terrible towels and, like, throw them away.
That's some bad juju right there, man.
Yeah, we about to dance on y'all. This is the thing. This is my look for the game. So, like I said, these teams, if they played each other right now, and then this is the year 2017, this is a primetime matchup. Instead, what we got is two triple G's playing each other, and we got to make do with what we got to make do. So the numbers right now kind of dictate that this will be like under. I like an under. I do expect us to win. The fact that Vegas has it at a 2.5 and we're favorite. I don't know about the cover. That sounds weird, but I think we win. But there's one thing that I did see at home. The Steelers, the first half over unders. You guys were 1-6 last year. You guys covered the over for the first half last week, but that was an away game, correct?
Correct.
And one thing we do as the Patriots, since we have a less than stimulating offense, is we like to slow the game down and make it ugly. The first half right now is at a 20 and 20.5. It was at a 21.5, which I don't know why, but I see that going under. I don't think we get 3 touchdowns in the first half. That's my look.
I mean, I completely agree with you on that one. Last year, I think we scored once or twice in the first quarter. And I'm just telling you, man, last week I was having flashbacks to that offense. We're still running the same Big Ben offense, the short passing routes, can't complete anything past 10 yards. Still no running game unless your name's Chase Claypool. But, Belichick's going to have a way to prevent him from touching the
Jimmer,
ball.
if you want, we got Matt Patricia. You could have him.
I don't know, man. We'll
run your offense.
Matt Canada for Matt Patricia. But yeah, man, we had 2 offensive drives start in Cincinnati territory, and both of those drives resulted in field goals. The defense is setting up the offense. We struggled heavily on third down. We were 4 for 15. 4 of those first downs came on a 3rd and 5 or less. No first downs on 3rd and 5 plus. We got to be able to convert those, and especially convert those short drives into touchdowns. We can't be settling for field goals against Bill Belichick team. We got to put up points.
Absolutely. I have nothing for this one simply because I knew y'all would have everything I needed, because I can't, like I said, I don't think New England played as bad as they are as compared to last week. I don't think Pittsburgh's offense is as terrible as what we saw last week either. So I have nothing for this one. If y'all have anything else as far as props, Spin, I don't know if you have anything for DFS.
Yeah. For fantasy and for DFS, just start the guys that you normally would. Damian Harris is a fine RB3 or flex play. I wouldn't start either quarterback in this game in any league, any format. Najee Harris is going to start no matter what. And then the other guy that, if you have a 2 tight end system, he's going to be hard to bench because of volume, is Pat Freiermuth. He had 9 targets in the opener. That was second most on the team behind Deontay Johnson. Pats are not a great matchup. I do like their linebackers from a coverage perspective. They absolutely put a chokehold on the Dolphins tight ends, who aren't very good. But so even with the tough matchup, that kind of volume, especially if the Steelers are going to stick to some of the short passes, I think that you can easily use Freiermuth in fantasy. You can also potentially fill him into a DFS tournament roster pretty easily.
For sure. Again, Jammer Bets, Michael Means Jr. Tell the people where they can find you. And best of luck to everyone in regards to betting this one. Hopefully you guys get a win. I'm saying that to both of you guys because I really don't care about the outcome. I wish you both could win. So tell the people where they can find you. And again, appreciate you jumping out early for week 2.
So obviously y'all know me. You can find me at Jammer Bets on Twitter. You can also find me on the Delphi Sports page. Massive night in VIP last night, 9-0 across college football and MLB. Our boy Liam had a massive night in UFC with an 8+ unit night. We just keep going up, man. Just added 2 new cappers this weekend. And hit me up, hit the Delphi Commish, Delphi Sports. Get in with us.
Yes, sir. Michael.
At Miguel Means Jr. on Twitter. Check my YouTube. We're doing a San Miguel versus Vegas series. Episode 2 went up, did pretty well. I'll take a game during the week, follow it up with my crazy young boys and everything during the week. Want you guys to check that out. Other than that, thanks Sos, thanks Spin, thanks Rex, wherever you are in God in heaven.
He'll be here.
And,
He'll be here at some point.
Yeah, Jammer. I'll talk to you after the game, and just as a shoulder to cry on.
What a guy! What a guy!
All right, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday. Best of luck. All right, so now that we've gotten that one out of the way, we got to get the next game that's going to be a little tough on the eyes out of the way. Well, the two we're gonna get the ones that are going to be tough to watch out of the way. Our next analyst is a guy who he's just became a part of a VIP called Legacy Sports. He's one of our like first people who actually really just watched the show when me and Rex started. Like we'd see his name in the comments, and he's always been just such a great just a great person as far as everything involved. Y'all might not be familiar. Some might be familiar, some might not. Taze 2K, big time Giants fan. He is again. He's become really, really good at the craft as far as handicapping sports. He's a Giants fan. He finally had a good week for the first time in like 8,000. So we're glad to have him. And he also, I think he thought like the matchup wouldn't make today's show, but we had to make sure that we brought him in. And welcome in, Taze. John, how you feeling, man? How you feeling today?
Feeling great, man. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Pumped to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna let you take it away. I mean, I know you're happy. I know things have gone well. I know you believe you guys can win today too. So, Panthers, Giants. Panthers blew a game against the Browns. Gave up a 60-yard field goal to lose it. You guys converted a 2-point conversion to find a way to win it. Completely different polar opposites for these two franchises after week one. What are you liking today? What are your thoughts on the matchup? And
So I want to say one thing regarding the go for two for the win. I mean, you heard Saquon Barkley say it. When your coach says you're going to, their goal is to be aggressive, and he actually backs that up, it inspires people, right? You want your coach to walk the walk, talk the talk, and that's what Daboll did. So I give him credit. When you have a coach like that, the players will run through a wall for you, right? And that's a dangerous thing. I did not expect them to win last week, but they did a good job bottling up Derrick Henry. I thought, usually when he gets 21 carries, he gets over 100 yards. He did not do that. I know he was coming off the ACL, but you still got to play the games between the lines, right? So they did a good job. We'll see if that continues this week. I do think they can win today, for sure. I'm looking at some props though. If I'm going to bet a side, it's going to be the Giants on the money line. I think they're minus 115, but I'm going to stick on the prop side of things for today. I love Baker Mayfield to throw an interception. It's minus 120 on DraftKings. A defensive player prop I'm looking at is Leonard Williams over a quarter of a sack. It's plus 260. The Panthers gave up, I believe, 3.5 sacks last week. Obviously, we don't have somebody to the stature of Myles Garrett, but I do think that they could put pressure on him today, and I do think that's the plan. So I'm looking at Leonard Williams for that. There's a long shot prop I actually found on DK, and I really think this has a chance of hitting. It's Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey each to record 50-plus receiving yards. It's plus 900. Like, I got to take a shot, right?
What book?
On DraftKings.
All right, I'm about to bet that right now. Actually, what?
Like, look, there's a chance it doesn't hit, but you're going to give me 9-1. They're the motors of each respective team. Obviously, we see what both can do on a yearly basis when they're healthy. So I'll take that. And then one last. This is just the lean. I think this is a field goal game, to be honest with you. So DraftKings offers like total field goals in the game. It's 3.5. I think that goes over, and that's minus 110. Yeah, those would be my 4 main looks.
Yeah, I got to take this is the Giants spot all the way for me. And I'm not just saying that as a Bucs fan and divisional rival of Carolina. The Carolina offense looked nowhere near passable last week. And what a difference a head coach makes. Brian Daboll is a godsend for this team, especially because he knows how to use Saquon Barkley. For those of you that were rocking with VIP for me for fantasy and the Diamond Club, you'll know that I drafted Barkley in every single big money league that I have. I made it a point to get him. I said that Saquon Barkley will be the fantasy MVP of the year. I stand by that now. At the end of the year, when you look at who is the fantasy MVP for this season, it's Saquon Barkley. Screen cap this. And so he's finally fully healthy. He's got a head coach that knows how to use him. And he just has the volume and the overall talent to win a fantasy MVP award. So this for me is just Giants all the way. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it's not a field goal game. And you, Taze, you said Baker Mayfield to throw 1 interception. If you can find an alt line for him to throw 2+, take that too.
Hey, listen, it makes my job much easier when y'all do the work for me. Because I didn't look at too much in this one. But I knew y'all would have something because y'all like the fantasy side of stuff. I'm simply in fantasy leagues for interaction with people. I don't get out enough, Ronald is funny as shit. His legs are the real MVP. Gremlin parlay on the Saints and Green Bay. Best of luck if that's what you're saying. My bad. I don't usually run the comments, all right? So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they weren't on time. I explained to y'all that Rex is much better at this than I am. I'm not good at doing multiple things at once, so I apologize. But nah, again, I'm excited for this one. I'm a big Saquon fan. I think if you've listened to to Spaces all week, I've made it clear that Saquon's my guy. I'm a big fan. Him and DeAndre Swift, obviously from the area. But I like all those looks. Obviously, Taze, this is your first time on the show. Gonna have you on Daily Bread a couple times because you got a Monday night game next week, I believe, right? So you'll be on Daily Bread next Monday. Again, tell the people where they can find you. Plug whatever it is you want, and let me make sure I get that's his @ right there under his name, under his face, but. Tell the people where they can find you and a little bit more. And, again, appreciate the looks. I like that plus 900 on DraftKings. 50-50. I like that. I love that play.
I couldn't believe it. It was there. So you can find me at Taste2K on Twitter. I'm always in Spaces. I'm always giving out information, giving out free plays. We also run a VIP over at Legacy Sports 101. We just started about a month ago. Things have been going great. So tap in with us.
Appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you guys.
Best of luck and catch you next week.
Get this money.
Peace. All right. On to the next unbearable matchup that nobody wants to see. No, I'm just playing.
Just real quick. I saw Jack Bell in the comments. No, we have not gotten to either one of those games yet. I got info on both. So stick around. It's coming.
Man, just stick around, man. That's why we do the show.
It's coming.
Taze sounds like Barry White. Was not expecting that one. Have they thought about Ingram and Drake?
No,
Drake.
It's coming.
Taze, we love you. McCaffrey, 50+, and Saquon can do it on one play. That's a fact. Race Mullins.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
But let's get, again, I just want to get through some of the comments. Again, Rex makes this look much easier than it really is. Next game we're on to is the Colts versus the Jags. Obviously, we got the best guy ever covering the Jags. His name is Goose. He is the future mayor of Rahway, New Jersey. Always brings the energy. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's got on sunglasses indoors. No, he's outside. He's outside.
We outside. I need some fresh air, man.
Welcome.
Actually, just real quick, Goose, before you go on the Jags, I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the reports that Nebraska is recruiting Urban to be their next head coach.
I mean, go for it. I mean, man.
Actually, some college team should hire him so then that way no NFL team ever gets tempted again. Sorry, Goose. Go ahead.
That was really bad. But, like, I mean, Nebraska's so bad that they'll waste money, but they'll get 7 wins out of him. In college, you can get 7 and 5 out of him.
Yeah, I have no comments on Urban Meyer. I hate that guy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, sorry, didn't mean to hurt the flow. Sorry, Goose. Go ahead.
Nah,
Nah,
yeah,
so,
Goose, tell us about your favorite quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. I know you watched the tape. He wasn't that great last week, but talk to us, man. What are you liking in this one? It's a stay away from me. I do like y'all. If I had to do anything, it'd be y'all to cover, but talk to me.
man, Justin Herbert is what we all thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be, I think.
Oh, man. You're ready to give up? You're giving up?
I'm not giving up, but, like, did y'all see his overthrow to ETN in the corner of the end zone? It was a 20-yard wheel route, wide open, overthrown by 4 yards. That's supposed to be his college teammate. They drafted him because of all the chemistry. And you had a walk-in touchdown. You overthrow him. But that's why I'm going to Travis Etienne anytime touchdown today, because he's looking for him. That should have been an easy touchdown right there. And it's plus money. You go on if you got DraftKings, it's only at plus 170. But if you go on FanDuel, plus 220. So give me that all day, plus 220. Shaq Leonard's out for the Colts. So I like Travis Etienne to eat a little. And about the game, yeah, like the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. And Jaguars are 3-point underdogs. I can't tell if this is disrespect or if this is just right, because the Jags suck. It just feels like, I want to hammer the Jaguars. They haven't won. The Colts haven't won since 2014 there. The Colts look pedestrian. They don't have Michael Pittman. But I can't touch this game because I can't put my money on the Jaguars to win until they win. This is the worst team in football until they prove it otherwise. Back-to-back number 1 overall picks the last 2 years. They look so sloppy against the communists, the Commanders, and we here now. I had to drink away the pain last night. I got my AFC South champion hat on, our only title from 2017. I'll give you one more prop though. I'm attacking props because I can't attack the game. We hit Zay Jones last week. His total was 33.5 yards. We hit that in the first half. I remember I gave that out. I'm going back to the well. Zay Jones, 40 yards over receiving yards. That guy's pretty decent because the Jaguars stink. He's their number 2, I guess, because Christian Kirk's their number 1. He's slot guy. But hit Zay Jones, hit Travis Etienne. Don't bet the side. That's all I got.
Yeah, for this one, the public is pretty well split. 100,850 total bets, 50-50 on the bets. The Jags are getting 70% of the money, which matches the line move from plus 4.5 down to plus 3. I think that also coincided nicely with Pittman and Alec Pierce being ruled out. For this one, I'm trying to avoid all Colts in DFS. That includes Jonathan Taylor. The reason being is because for his price point, you can get Christian McCaffrey for almost $1,000 cheaper, and there's a lot more upside with how the game flow should play out today. On the Jag side, I think that if you want to take a super flyer and you want to make a big GPP tournament lineup, you can do a Jaguar stack, you can do ETN, you can do Trevor Lawrence, and you can do Zay Jones. I think that would be a nice low-owned stack that could pay off with multiple touchdowns. And then for fantasy, the only one that I'm really actively looking, if I have him, is trying to get into a flex spot is ETN, and it's because of the squeaky wheel principle with the NFL. You'll hear about this more with the Rams game and Allen Robinson, but typically when you have a guy who has been getting a lot of work early in camp or in the season, and then all of a sudden he just goes totally dead, or somebody comes out of nowhere to take a whole bunch more carries, the team usually looks to make it a point to get him the ball in spaces the next game. So that's why I like the ETN looks a lot. And like I said, if you have ETN and you're deciding between him and somebody else for a flex, I think that ETN has some nice touchdown upside today. That's all I got here.
Yeah, I was on the Etienne touchdown as well, and I like how you make a big deal about one overthrow when he dropped the fucking ball 5 times.
Nah, the receivers dropped it a
He
lot.
dropped no. Travis Etienne had
Did he?
5 passes hit his fucking hands, 5 of them.
I was screaming
And
at the
he didn't
TV. I
actually
just saw
catch.
so many drops.
So I'm not. Yes, it was one bad throw, but you already know that I'm Sunshine's lawyer. I
wanna
defend the
be.
kid, so I'm not gonna let you do that to my boy.
Respect.
Just
I hope
remember,
I hope he shows up.
if
to
they
that.
hit you in the hands, you're
It's
supposed
both
to catch them.
sides. It's the
If-
drops and the overthrows.
If it hits you in both the hands, you're supposed to catch him, right? And all this about him being special in the slot, he runs good routes. Like, you got to catch the fucking ball, though. So it sounds good. But
I got
be
one
fair.
Colts
Be
thing.
fair. Be fair with my boy now. Don't do that. Mom, thank you.
I got one Colts thing.
All right.
Buyer beware. I'm not too high on Nyheim Hines today. I know a lot of people are. I just feel like he's going to be the public play because of the receivers that are out. I feel like a lot of people are expecting Nyheim Hines to smash, and maybe he does, but I'm going to stay away because I just feel like I've been seeing so many tweets, Nyheim Hines over. So it might happen, but I saw too many tweets that I'm off of it.
For sure.
Yeah, look with Nyheim Hines, his projected snap rate, even with Taylor, his projected snap rate was down from what people thought from what it was supposed to be last week. His workload's down. Yeah, I'm with you.
For sure.
I like the video. Y'all keep watching. I got to head out of here.
Appreciate you, Goose. Y'all already know where to catch Goose. Paid for play every Saturday. Rutgers won again.
3-0. Night game next week.
Let's fucking go.
At least I got one team to root for.
At least you got something. Facts.
Yeah, man.
Facts. Appreciate you. Peace. Oh, man. That Kirk versus Kenny Moore. All right. So now that we're on to the next one, I spoke to Kamish. Kamish is our Rams guy. He's a little bit under the weather. He did send me in his plays. So before we bring on our guy, you guys might not know him. His name's Mantis, a.k.a. Matt. On Twitter, he's known as Sebastian's Dad, 19. Big-time Atlanta fan. Understands what his team can do, brings to the table. We didn't bring him here for any other thing other than his team. Been a really, really good dude as far as everything we've done with Tipville and just again, glad to allow him the opportunity to share with us. My buddy Matt, been really straight with us since he popped on the Twitter scene with us a couple of months ago. So let's bring him in. And before we bring him in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just read back to you the plays that Kamish had, because I'm not gonna get into them. You guys are familiar with Delphi Kamish. You guys are familiar with all of his work. He wanted to make sure that he dropped these plays for you guys. So the 3 plays that he has are the Falcons +10 at -110, Darrell Henderson to score a touchdown at +105, and Cooper Kupp over 7.5 receptions at -46, 146 for a. I would parlay it. You guys know I don't bet anything juiced past like -140, not a chance. But those are his 3 plays. A little bit under the weather. Make sure you guys drop commission line, hoping that he feels better. But let's bring in my buddy Matt. How you feeling this morning, my guy?
What's going on? You can hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Hey, what's going on? I appreciate it.
Obviously, you guys fought last week. I think a lot of people were surprised. I wasn't. You guys have heard me talk about Arthur Smith. I think he's an absolute genius when it comes to calling plays. But what are your thoughts on this one? The line obviously opened up at 12.5. It's down to 10 now. What are you expecting from Atlanta today?
So I'm expecting us to come out and fight. It was a big letdown last week. And I guess the same thing could be said with the Rams. So I actually wanted to do some notes on this one because this is going to be big. So I actually have a couple of things written down here. So Sean McVay, when more than a 10-point favorite, is 1-4 against the spread. But however, with Matt Stafford, he has a 3-0 record when favored by 10 points. So he's averaging about 3 touchdowns a game when he's favored by 10 or more points. So I'm taking him on the 1.5 over for him to score maybe 2 touchdowns on that one. Also, something really interesting, teams from previous weeks that didn't cover playing teams that did from previous weekend, especially for week 2, are 7-0. 69-33 overall last year and covering the spread. So as far as people saying, the Rams may not cover, I don't know. Those numbers kind of stick out to me. There's the analytical side, and then there is just the football side. And I'm kind of torn between the two right now because I would like to think the Falcons are going to keep this one close, but I can see the Rams pulling out at the end. I mean, you see what happened last week against, the Saints. I was not expecting the Falcons to come out and keep that game as close as it was. I was happy, but at the same time, the blown leads continue to happen. I do like the Cordell Patterson score anytime touchdown. I think that's at plus 155. So I like those odds, and then I think Allen Robinson, I have him on the over for 56.5 for receiving yards. I heard you earlier today, so said that you think Allen Robinson is going to score a touchdown. I believe that as well. Cooper Kupp is going to get his. It just depends about the other people. And the last thing I actually wanted to point out is when the Falcons have more than three sacks, they're 0-3. So we can still take the over on the sacks and still take the Rams on winning this game. So it works its way out.
Yeah.
My bad. I got a phone call. Listen, I appreciate all that information. I think the more information, the better. I think that's what makes this show great, right? At the end of the day, we want to give you as much information to, affect your decision. I got y'all at the 12.5 when it opened. So I'm sitting on that. I'm a say it until the cows come home. Arthur Smith, to me, is the best play caller in football. You can argue that with whoever you want. But based on how he makes his team operate and just gives them an opportunity to just be multiple. The only issue is that he can't make Mariota not fumble the ball. He can't go out there and hold on to it for Mariota. If Mariota doesn't do that, I think Atlanta wins that game going away last week if he doesn't turn the ball over. But the game is the game. And I think that, again, you're gonna continuously get extremely good game planning and play calling from Arthur Smith that will give you guys opportunities to be successful. Whether y'all win the game, I don't see that on my bingo card, but I do believe you guys hang in there. I took the 12.5. But again, that you just said was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, and I mean, the other thing, like Raheem Morris used to be our defensive coordinator, our defense assistant coach, our wide receivers coach. He was a fill-in for Dan Quinn after he was fired. So Raheem Morris knows this team. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot going on as far as Arthur Smith coming in. But I'm calling it the Raheem Morris revenge game. Aaron Donald, I think he's looking to kind of bounce back. We let up one QB hit last week, and we didn't let up any sacks against the New Orleans Saints. So, right now, Atlanta, we're flying high, but I've seen this movie too many times where we look good one week and then the next week it's like, all right, what happened? I'm hoping that breaks today as far as being consecutive, but 10 days of rest for the Rams. We're flying across country. I think even next week when we play the Seahawks, the prop bets and everything is going to go crazy. So I'm going to try to bring as much information because if we start 0-2, now we just playing with house money until Desmond Ridder hits the scene.
I like that. I like the outlook. And again, appreciate the information. Spin, anything for fantasy and DFS?
Yeah, just a few things. I think that from Atlanta's perspective, I think you can use everybody you normally would. That would be Patterson. That would be Pitts. I think that if you have Drake London and you're deciding in a deep league for like a second flex spot, you can use him. I wouldn't actively go out and target anybody for DFS for Atlanta. I think that you can look Mariota and pair him with one of the receivers just because if you think that they're going to be playing catch up, that's probably going to lead to more throws. And Mariota has rushing upside. So, and then on the Ram side, yeah, this I said it earlier, and I'll just go back to it. The squeaky wheel getting the grease. So all that talk about Allen Robinson not being a part of the offense and Stafford threw to everybody else. And usually what you see in those cases is at least early, you make it where the team makes it a point to get that person the ball or get them some love, get them some work. So I would definitely be on anything that's Allen Robinson, ATD, over receptions, over yards. I think that this is a nice way for them to show like, yeah, we do value him. He's here too. So for DFS, for the Rams, I don't know if I would use Cooper Kupp and Stafford. That's a high price point. Doesn't really allow you to fill in a whole bunch of other guys that I think have a lot higher upsides. And then on the running back side for the Rams, Cam Akers, you just can't use right now. Darrell Henderson had 82% of snaps last week. That was the highest of any running back besides Jonathan Taylor. That's insane. So the reports are that Akers was in the doghouse last week. He's a little more out of the doghouse, but McVay wouldn't commit to giving him a certain workload. So until that happens, don't trade or bench Akers, but don't trade or cut Akers, but you got to keep him on your bench. Darrell Henderson should be starting in every league that you own him in.
Completely agreed. I'm in the same boat with you. Sorry, just got a little.
No, it's okay. And then for the public action, so while you're doing that, just so everybody knows, for the total, we got 90,000 bets placed. Open at 48, bet down to 46.5. The movement matches almost identical with the public action here. You got 34% of bets and 84% of the money on the under. That's why it's moving down. Exact same thing goes with the total, or with the side, the public at the 12.5 or even at 13 in some books. The public and some of the sharps jumped on that one real quick and got it down in the 10 area. I think personally, I'd be interested if it was at a 10.5. I think that the 10 leaves too many opportunities for a late push or loss.
That's why my recommendation was, like, listen, when the line opened, I immediately took it. It actually opened at 13. About an hour later, it dropped to 12.5. The 10, like Matt said, like you said, a lot of issues with the backdoor situation, or them just getting like a late touchdown or something defensive, or So I agree with all the sentiments that you guys shared in regards to this one. I have no serious action in this. I said I do believe that Allen Robinson gets a touchdown. I think the value is there. I think that bigger physical receivers tend to give AJ Terrell a couple more issues as opposed to the smaller guys, which he can kind of just get physical with and give issues. You saw it with Mike Thomas last week. The more physical receivers tend to give him issues. I love the Darrell Henderson look as well, but other than that, we're just it's a wait and see thing. And like you said, Matt, if you guys go 0-2, it's Desmond Ridder watch time. So I completely agree with the sentiment of that. And I think that the offense is going to be able to put up numbers all season. I don't think that will be an issue for you guys, to be totally honest.
Yeah, the only thing I'm waiting for is Kyle Pitts. Like, he hasn't scored a touchdown on U.S. soil except for the Pro Bowl. Like, I need him to score something. I need to shut the haters up right now.
In the end zone in America, bro.
I know it's wild. It's wild. He did it right before the Queen died and everything. I'm like, come on, let's go.
He was paying his respects. I respect it.
I guess.
But again, appreciate you joining us. We finally got a Falcons contributor, someone who actually knows the team, and appreciate you being objective and not being a fanboy. Appreciate that. That's very important for this type of show. So again, make sure you guys follow Matt at SebastianDad19. He's going to be here all season. Appreciate you rocking with us, and we will get you back on here next week. Best of luck with your bets. Appreciate the insight and the looks, and we will be in touch later on. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Yeah, let's make some money today.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. Man, that was out. Who'd have thought that we'd actually get some decent bets from the Falcons, right? People just like to do this when they don't realize that they got a great offensive mind in Atlanta. Defense is still booty butt cheeks to me, though. Next game we're gonna move on to is the Packers Bears. I gotta eat crow. I gotta fucking listen to Steven tell me about his fucking team winning. I'm gonna bring him on first because he ain't gonna be able to do this but maybe twice all fucking year. So let me bring him on first. He wasn't all last. He's back. He's also back in the car. Every episode last year, he made sure he was in the car. He's back in the whip. Look at my boy. What's up, man? How you feeling? You on top of the world, looking down on creation?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. Honestly, bro, I was so surprised at how the rookies on the defense played. Like I like that we finally have a second corner to go with Jalen Johnson. I think that kid, Kyler Gordon from Washington, is actually going to be pretty good. I like having another safety in Jaquan Brisker playing safety with Eddie Jackson. Like now we finally got some young guys in the secondary, a bunch of guys who are still all on rookie contracts. The offense was not great for sure, but it ended up being good enough. So I like that. And obviously, a win's got me feeling a little bit better going into this week. Definitely not good enough to say we're going to win, but it has me feeling just a little bit better.
The Steven victory lap was necessary because we don't get to see him happy often. So Prop is waiting like, who gives a fuck about the Bears? We just got to give him a second, man. You got to let him embrace this. Like I said, this might not happen again the rest of the fucking year. So again, congratulations winning a game in the monsoon. You won the never going to happen again Olympics, and I'm happy for you. My team took the L. I got to live with that. I give you guys no credit. Justin Fields played like shit. We played just worse. And that's my take. I hope you guys cover today. That's a lot of points. But we also going to bring in the Packers rep, who obviously we know he's a huge Aaron Rodgers guy. They got smacked the fuck up last week. So he's going to have to explain why that happened. And we're going to get both of y'all plays from the game. We're not as hot on time as I originally thought. So I can allow this. So welcome into the Prop God. What's up, my boy? How are you this morning?
Yo, what's good? How y'all doing?
Hey, how y'all get your ass whooped like that last week?
I was gonna ask you, man. We in the same boat. So.
We didn't get our ass. Well, we scored 10 points.
I think it was seriously. I think the initial drop on the touchdown. Rodgers came into the game already not trusting the young receivers, and I think as soon as that happened, the NC was like, "Oh God, here we go." For him, I kind of think, and when you watch the game, he didn't look comfortable himself. You know what I mean? So I think it was just a full display of Rodgers not trusting who's around him at the moment. I think we heard some good things throughout the week on them leaning on him, kind of just letting it go and playing and realizing what he has. So I'm expecting to see that this week. But yeah, last week I think it was just a full out display of him not being, not trusting who he's got.
Hey man, that's a fair assessment. I can't be mad at it. I think we all kind of expected some level of challenge for Rodgers. And also, a lot of people are high on Minnesota. So no, I don't think anybody was surprised. And then aren't we kind of used to Aaron Rodgers looking like shit the first couple of weeks of every season? I'm no disrespect to him, but isn't this kind of the norm? He's known to start slow. He's usually given the RELAX chant every fourth week of the year, and then they go on a 7-8 game win streak, and nobody remembers any of this shit happens. I'm not tripping, right? This happens every year, right, Spin? At some point, it's normal. It's totally normal shit. It's just that people are conditioned to think that when you win back-to-back MVPs, that you play great every fucking week, which isn't a fact. That's not the truth. But yeah, what are you guys liking as far as action goes in this one? I will let Steven go first, and then we'll get the prop. Because I know Steven's list will be progressively shorter. What are your thoughts on action for this one?
So I did hear for the weather, it's looking like we might have another week of rain tonight. I thought I saw it was high 60s, maybe a chance of rain. So if it's another gross weather game, I think 10.5 points is too many. I'll take the Bears to cover the 10.5. And I also think because Rodgers didn't play a ton in the preseason, he clearly didn't really trust his receivers last week. I don't know if a week of practice is going to get him as right as he wants to be with those receivers. And again, if the conditions aren't great, he doesn't really trust his receivers. I think he throws a pick. So I'm taking the Bears plus 10.5. I'm taking Rodgers to throw an interception at plus 240. That's about all I'm on for the game.
All right, it's interesting. Listen, that plus 240, it's great. It's great value, but we all know that Rodgers is very skimpy with the interceptions because he'd rather take a sack than look down the field sometimes. But that's again another conversation for another day. Prop God, what you got for the people, my boy? Talk to us.
So this one kind of goes along with what he said about the weather concerns. Why did I just David Montgomery over 13.5 rush attempts, a number he crushed last season. I expect them to lean on him today. Like you said, of course they played in a tsunami last week, but Fields still didn't look good. You know what I mean? And that has a lot to do with what they have around them. You know, if the Bears struggles or what I expect to be, I'm not really blaming Fields. I blame the organization. You know what I mean? I think they will be active in the offseason, but as far as playing it out in a at least a decent weather game, I don't expect much from Chicago. So I expect them to lean on Montgomery. I like the 13.5 rush attempts. Everyone from the Packers organization spoke on Aaron Jones not being involved last week. And now we come to this week, and there's no props available for him. They got his rush yards, but they don't have the rushing and receiving yards combo. They don't have the rush attempts or anything like that. So I'm looking at 56.5 rushing yards. I mean, I like that, but I know he's going to be involved in the passing game. His reception prop, I couldn't see that anywhere either. So I see the anytime TD sitting at minus 115. If you could see something better than that, I would take it. But I expect Aaron Jones to get in the end zone. I like the under 41.5 for the game, and I also like David Montgomery over 13.5 rush attempts.
I love the David Montgomery thing play. Obviously, like you said, the relying on him to kind of just to kind of give a young quarterback some level of breathing room. Again, I can't take any stock away from the game last week with Chicago. And if we get shitty weather again, it becomes another one of those situations where you just kind of, it's kind of like a dice roll.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Spin listen.
Yeah.
Fantasy, anything you like, because I have nothing on this one personally. There's a lot of games where I'm on the prop side for some of them, and I got a couple of looks here and there. But like this is another game where I think the Packers win. Weather could play a part. Kind of just want to skate away from it, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit on to see what the weather, a little bit more developed on the weather here. I do like the under look on this one. I do like. I kind of sort of like Rodgers under passing yards, but for this one, this might be one where I just watch for the fantasy guys that I do have for fantasy purposes. You know, if Rodgers is your only quarterback, you got to roll with him. There's nobody on the free agent wire that would be better. If you're in a 2 QB league, especially if you start to see rain throughout the day, you might want to make a decision now. You can bench Rodgers in this one from a fantasy perspective. On the Chicago side, David Montgomery is probably the only one worth using tonight. And that's about all I would touch from a fantasy perspective. I'm probably going to do a single game DFS on this one, but it's going to be tough to get a lineup that I like in there. I don't have much else on this one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm on the same boat with you. It's just an ugly game. Once Rodgers gets that synergy down by week 5, we're going to be able to bet him every week at that over 1.5 touchdowns. It's just going to take a couple of weeks, and it will come because he gets 4 games against Chicago and Detroit. So it will start. It will happen. It's just a matter of they got to build it. Once the synergy comes, though, listen, Watson was getting open. It's just Rodgers stopped throwing him the ball. Listen, you look back at the All-22 in the second half. Aaron Rodgers looked like he was mentally checked out of the game. I know some people did not really watch it, but like for me. Like that's what I saw. I just kind of saw Rodgers.
I had no choice but to watch it. So
yeah, I just kind of feel like you said, he kind of just stopped. He kind of just stopped, and he was just like, I'll hit the reset button the next week. And I think that was my biggest takeaway from week 1. Rodgers looked, I wouldn't say disinterested, but I don't think he really wanted to go out there at the end of the game down multiple touchdowns and get fucked up by an elite by a pass rush. And I think he kind of checked out. I think he kind of checked out at the end of the game and just tried to get out of there with no injury, which I don't blame him. He didn't feel like they could generate what they needed offensively, and I'm totally okay with that. You call him soft, whatever you want. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. C-Pen. Again, sometimes you get hit 4 or 5 times, and listen, they were fucking him up. Like Rodgers got lit up a few times, and I understand why he would want to do that, but for me, no action. Serious. Steven C. Betts, make sure you guys follow him. He's big on the college football, college basketball side. We just have him on there because very few Bears fans actually want to come on and talk about the Bears. But make sure you guys also. I mean, I'm sure y'all are following Prop God. Just saw yesterday that he's taking his talents to the Delphi Sports Group. Very
Yeah,
happy
man.
for you, my guy. Good.
Joined the mafia, man.
You joined the mafia. I listen, man. I have nothing but love for those guys. Jammer, Kamish, obviously D-Rock just joined up. Liam, he's always been lights out with the UFC. So congratulations to you, and want to see you continue to grow and ascend in the space, man. You're doing a great job. Appreciate you as always.
Sir. Definitely appreciate you for always rocking out with me, bro, for sure.
My man, Steven, best of luck. I hope you guys don't lose by 3 touchdowns.
Nah, we won't. I feel confident in saying we keep it at least in the teens.
Yeah, because the rain's going to save you like last week. Peace. God damn, man. I over here trying to I can't believe I had to defend that bullshit. But anyway, on to the next game. Raiders, Cardinals. We got our boy out of Montreal, KD, always holding it down for Raider Nation. I'm going to just give my analysis on the Cardinals. They fucking suck. Their quarterback's a midget. He can't identify pressure. He can't identify blitzes. Their defense is ass. Their D-line is ass. Their linebackers are the only thing that's good on the whole football team. Marquise Brown is not a number one. Patrick Mahomes just went in there and beat the fuck out of him last week. And then that's it. That's my analysis of the Cardinals. Don't touch anyone on their team. They're like radioactive yellow cake from Chappelle's Show. That's what
okay. Okay, I got a little bit of a different take on this one.
Word.
So I wouldn't say don't touch anybody. Obviously, don't touch anybody on their defense because good Lord, is that
fair
bad?
enough. Fair enough. No IDPs, right? No IDPs.
No, never. So for this one, this game should be a lot of fantasy gold. I think if you're going to play cash game for DFS, you should actively look to do some kind of stack for this one. If you want a higher owned but higher floor stack, you can go Carr and Devontae and run it back with Marquise Brown, or you can run it back with Zach Ertz. You can run it back with a whole bunch of people just because the natural flow of this game would indicate that points are going to be scored. I'm not saying that I like it that much. I'm just saying that when points are going to be scored, you get guys into the lineup from a game. So if you want to do a little bit more risk, you can stack Kyler and Marquise and then run it back with Devontae Adams or even with Hunter Renfrow or with Darren Waller. I personally think tight ends for tight end coverage, Cardinals are almost last.
I was only focused on the Cardinals side. Like I completely agree with everything else. I was just getting the Cardinal stuff out the way because we know this guy who listen, we will be betting flag football odds all season. He said that he was going to get us some good odds, right? My boy.
My guy. I can't. Spin, I'm sorry. I'm out for the season. As you can see, broken arm.
Damn. Oh, man.
Damn, son.
You up, man. Get well
soon. Man, I'm on the IR, dog. So, all the fantasy props for flag football, that shit's a dub, dog. But, yeah. And I seen you call me yesterday, dog. I got to hit you back.
I see. I don't even trip, man. Yeah. People got lives. I get it. It's cool.
But man. How's it going, guys? As I can see, I could be a little better. Let me flex that Optimus Prime cast again, but I'm out here, dog.
at least you're in good spirits.
No choice, fam. No choice. But I agree with what you guys were saying. I mean, you already know my take. Like, if I could just touch on our game last week, like 3 turnovers, 2 sacks, and we only lost by like 4 or 5. Like, if he's not trying to force feed the ball to Tate, like we could easily win that game, right? So and I every week I always say I'm a big I'm gonna talk my shit about. I'll praise Carr when he's good, and I'll talk my shit when he's bad. So like I just find like he was bad last week, a lot of force. The O-line, I don't think it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like I still think they kind of held their own more or less. It was bad, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I agree with you 100%.
So yeah, man, he just has to spread the ball. So I think that's what's going to happen today. They're back at, they're in the Death Star, they're in Vegas, first home game. So like, I think the ball's going to get spread. That boy Isaiah Simmons, he gonna get cooked. I think Waller's gonna have a big game today, just how Kelsey cooked his ass last week. So I think, and Josh McDaniels, he ain't stupid. So like he's gonna scheme something up, for Waller to, to get his food today. So yeah, I wouldn't touch it's at -5.5. I wouldn't touch the spread. I'll just probably take the Raiders, money line. I think it's -210. Not too big on the odds, but whatever, if you want to touch that. Like I always say, I like Derek Carr, 1.5 TDs. To me, that's like been money a lot. He hit it last week. He's been hitting it a lot last season. That cashed me out a lot. And if you want to do a sprinkle, I'll take Mac Hollins anytime TD plus 333. He ain't seen the ball last week, but like Mac Hollins, like trust me, he can get jiggy with it. He can get jiggy with it. So I can see him going out for one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Spin.
Yeah.
Now let's get to your takes. Like I said, I was trying to get the Cardinal stuff out the way because we don't have a Cardinals person right now.
Yeah, I think that I totally agree with the Darren Waller take. Arizona's tight end coverage is just absolutely awful, and I'm going to give Carr a little bit of a pass on last week. He didn't look that great for sure. However, another new offensive coordinator, another new head coach, another new system, and so it's like his third in 3 years. So now, if we're still here 2 weeks from now and he's still having some of the struggles that he had last week, yeah, I will be the first one just to talk shit about him. But I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because of the situation that he's in. So I do like, anybody is an option here really for DFS. Anybody is an option for fantasy if you have them. I saw in the chat, Greg Dortch. Yep, Greg Dortch, his receiving yards are really low. You can get a nice price on that one. So I think that, but like I said, if you are playing cash games for DFS, you should actively look to stack from this game. And what I would do is, like I said, I would stack Carr, Waller, and then run it back with one of the receivers from Arizona, or stack Kyler and Marquise Brown, and then run it back with Devontae or with Waller. I think that's probably your best bet for a cash game. For a GPP or for a tournament, I think that Dortch can make sense. I think Ertz can make sense. Even though he's probably going to be super highly owned, and rightfully so, I think you can fit Waller into a tournament lineup. There's plenty of other value elsewhere. So basically what I'm saying is get guys in on this one because there's probably going to be points.
I like it. I like it a lot
as well, man. For real.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys, man. I'll be here at the crib. Can't really move too much. I'll be watching the game on the couch. So,
what's your return time frame? Like,
oh man, I'm in this cast for another week. Then I'm in another brace for 3 months. Then it's rehab and physio. So that's looking like 6 to 8.
Ooh. Well, you're in good spirit. That's
the dog.
You know what I'm saying? I can always count on you to be positive, but yeah, get well soon, man. And the good thing is you'll be on Sunday morning quarterbacks, more time to research and win us more money. So
that's it. It's a win-win. I got to take the good with the bad. So, man, I always look up to the better days and all the other stuff that's going to come out of it. So, I'm blessed, bro. I can't complain, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you as always. Make sure you guys lock in with my boy from Montreal, Canada's finest, one of the biggest Raiders fans you're going to find on the planet. Always has all the gear, all the jerseys, everything fly. Y'all know the rules. Follow my boy. That's another little quick tidbit about today's game. But again, appreciate you, my brother. See you next week.
Hold it down, guys. You already know, man. Love.
Hey, man, KD done eliminated our free money all for the whole year. I'm sick. I'm ready to bet on anytime TDs and all this.
KD's on the pop.
Fuck. This is craziness. Listen, I'm calling a quick audible. Don't think the Seattle guy is going to be here today. Sports guy. He's probably still on an all-time high. Made sure he popped into Spaces for the first fucking time in months after they beat Denver. Hadn't heard from him, didn't speak to him, but all of a sudden he wanted to come in and talk a bunch of shit. As soon as his team won a game against their former quarterback, listen, we play them today, and we're going to beat them. It's not going to be close. It is supposed to rain today in San Francisco. I don't know if it's monsoon or tsunami levels, but that's where it is. And the reason why I'm calling this audible is because this game's not going to be close. I think we handled them pretty well, just fine. I'm not really concerned about Geno Smith. My quarterback was in the strip club on Wednesday, which means he's completely forgotten about the bullshit from last week, and he's on to this week. I mean, it's if you understand at 22, like the only reason you go to the strip club is to clear your head. It's not to, it's just nice little Wednesday night with the homies. You feel me? So as far as I'm concerned, I like us to win. I like us to cover. I think 25.5 is a distinct possibility for our points. He won the Super Bowl. Jesus Christ. The reality percent. Yeah, I think that's the expectation. And then listen, look at this fucking guy. But yeah, I just wanted to get out the way because I know that Spin wants ample time to talk about this matchup where everybody's on the opposite side. We got our boy Roddy from the Players Ball podcast covering the Saints. Big time Saints fan, loves his team. Spin and Roddy, y'all can get to it. Make sure y'all. Oh my God, look at this guy. Look at this guy. What the fuck? Let's welcome in Roddy from the Players Ball podcast. Make sure y'all follow the Players Ball podcast, the best podcast on the planet. Look at this guy. Welcome in, my friend. How are you today? How are you feeling? Why am I yelling?
I'm feeling fantastic today. I can't barely talk in this little ass mask, but I'm feeling like I'm about to rob a bank. I mean, by the way the books are, respecting us, it's like we're gonna commit a robbery today. So I figured I come on with a mask.
I was gonna say, I thought that for the luchadors, like if you take your mask off, you're basically like done. Like you're just not allowed to. Like it's just a no.
Yeah, and I know, and if I end up on the ground due to suffocation from this little ass mask, I'll give out my plays. You know what I'm saying? I'll give out my plays because Jesus Christ. But I'm here.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
Go ahead. Start us off.
All right. Well, this is the thing. So last week I was at the game. I was very not impressed with the run defense. Obviously, them having Marcus Mariota is a different caveat than, what we usually got from the Falcons with Matt Ryan, of course. So I kind of expected it to happen. A zone running team, it happens. Cordell Patterson is a very good player as well. All respect to him. But I think it's going to be more of the same. The Bucs are going to come at us, try to give Leonard Fournette a lot of carries. Obviously, the receivers being hampered and out for you guys is going to affect the situation. Our guy, Nick Underhill, y'all follow him if you're a Saints fan. Go follow Nick Underhill. He's a great reporter, and we had him on my podcast, so go ahead and follow him. He says that Alvin Kamara's on the field stretching out now, so there's a possibility he could, dress. I think he's going to be limited regardless of what the situation is, even if he does play. But my main guy that I'm watching for us today has to be Chris Olave, man. I really think last week he didn't get off the way he wanted to get off, and I think this is the week for him. The Bucs, against us at least in these last, iterations of these Saints teams, they haven't faced a number 2 and number 3 receiver that's been this good and this smart. I think you saw that with, Emmanuel Sanders, the fold he brought to the team when he was there. Just being a smart receiver, knowing how to attack holes in the zone, stuff like that. So I'm optimistic. I'm not going to lie, Spin. I'm optimistic. I'm not going to be too brash and bold because it's the GOAT, man. It is the GOAT. So how do you feel?
Yeah. So I always love Bucs Saints matchups. Always love the passion that even though I'm not even from the area, you can just tell the passion that the two fan bases have against each other, especially now when both teams are good. But my take on it here is, so I'm very well aware that the Bucs have lost 3 straight regular season games in New Orleans, and they probably should have lost a 4th if not for that insane game where Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for like 7,000 yards. So we'll leave that to the side. Where what I'm getting at here is that there was a constant in all of those games that is not present today, and that constant is Sean Payton. So Sean Payton gone. And so what I've been telling people that I've been talking with this game about is that I don't believe that the Bucs had a go to New Orleans problem because they beat him in a playoff game. I don't believe that they have that Brady has a dome problem. What I believe that Brady had was a Sean Payton problem. And thankfully for us, that problem has been eliminated for this year. Now, on the injury front, you are correct in that Julio, I think, is 50-50 to play. Everybody else should play except for Godwin, a little banged up. But look, like I saw what I expected this team to be this year last week in Dallas, and that was where Bowles lets Brady and lets Leftwich do just enough on offense to put up enough yards, put up enough points, scratch together points to win the game, and then they rely on their dominant defense. And where I think and where I go with this one is I saw a few new blitzing schemes that I haven't seen from Bowles over the last few years. And so I think that for a quarterback like Jameis, where he's gotten better, but his decision-making can leave a lot to be desired, is that I think that definitely can confuse him. So my take on this one, though, really lies with the health of Kamara. And I know he didn't practice on Thursday. He didn't practice on Friday. I know he's on the field. I saw the same report. He's on the field warming up right now. My take on this one is that if Kamara cannot play, then I think that the Saints become a little too one-dimensional because Mark Ingram is on his last legs in the league. Tony Jones is your average run-of-the-mill running back. So even if they split work, it doesn't make a difference. I think it makes them too one-dimensional where Bowles can exercise some of those exotic blitzes. And so if Kamara plays and is even 50%, I think that I can see this being a one-score game, a 1 or 2 point game going back and forth to the end. If Kamara sits or just can't be used in any meaningful or effective situation, I think it's going to be tough because, like I said, I think that the key, because I saw it during his time playing with us, the key to beating Jameis Winston here is to make him one-dimensional. And so if Kamara does not play or can't do even half of what he normally can do, then I think that I think Jameis does become too one-dimensional. I'm not worried about our offense being able to put up enough points, even with some of the banged up receivers that we have. What I get concerned about is that some of the scheming to beat the aggressive blitzes that Bowles has. And that's where I go with, if Kamara can't play, I don't know if they can come up with enough to do that. So, I mean, obviously, if I'm picking a game winner, I'm not picking against my team, especially not in New Orleans. Never.
And
ever.
I don't want you to, Spin. I do not
ever.
want you to go against your team.
Never,
Pick your team.
Never ever. Bucks. So Bucks 100%. Sosa, go ahead.
Listen, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I don't think it's a Sean Payton thing. I think it's just a bad matchup for with what New Orleans does defensively. No Godwin. You have not 100% Julio Jones. There's no Gronk there anymore. I think that people are completely forgetting, this team is not made up the same as it was. It sounds good and it's easy to put your money on Brady off of reputation. And if that's the case, cool. But I don't think it was necessarily just a Sean Payton thing. I think that the Saints are their defense just matches up well against them. Power runners don't get off against this team. I don't see Fournette going for $125. And let's be honest, the Dallas Cowboys, they had one guy that was able to do anything defensively, and he just owned their offensive line. No Donovan Smith. I think that's a bit of an issue. If this were week 14, I'd probably be on the other side, but it's week 2. I think that there's still a lot of issues to be worked out for Tampa as far as towards the end of the season. Obviously, they're not going to be bad. They're not going to be bad in any capacity. But again, this New Orleans team just provides a level of challenge that a lot of other teams just don't. So just for me, I'm on New Orleans. I like them with the +2.5. I also like the money line. I just have to roll with them. Also, everybody likes the under. Just remember, the last time these two teams played, they combined for 9 fucking points, and a fucking tight end was starting for New Orleans. They got a quarterback and way better weapons now for New Orleans. I'm leaning towards the over because it's on the complete opposite side of what everybody else is on. I think that's one of those fade the public spots. I just see a lot of people hammering the under, and I'm thinking, I think that we could see something different. That's just me. But other than that, like I said, I'm not really abusing props or going crazy on the prop market. Just, again, really just wanted to get the best information from y'all. You guys know the game as far as your teams and the pulse of your fan base. So it's always good to get this banter and this information and dialogue from y'all.
So
I'm telling
Kamara is out officially.
Yep. Yeah,
Chuck,
I'm
shout out
telling-
to you.
Yep.
So-
I'm telling you. The surest sign that any player is going to sit is if he is limited participant in practice early in the week and then does not practice late in the week. It's like over 90% of the time that guy does not play. Now with that in mind, I want to see how Dennis Allen schemes for this one as the head coach on both sides of the ball. He's done a really nice job scheming for Brady on the defensive side when he was just defensive coordinator. I'm really, really interested to see what happens now, again, that they don't have Sean Payton behind him scheming for Brady.
Yeah, for sure. I'm confident in Pete. I think Pete can, get the scheme together. I actually want to get into one of my plays because, like I was saying, the wide receiver 2 and 3 is just, it's been different than what it's been for the last 3 years. So I really love Chris Olave. I got him at 35.5 yards last night at -110. It's going up. I think it's at 37 right now. So if y'all want to go take that, please go take that immediately because it's probably only going to go up. I also have Jameis over 10.5 rushing yards. I think exactly what you said, Spin. Todd is going to send the house a lot, try to confuse him a lot. He's going to, try to get out of the pocket a little bit. And look, Jameis is one of the most awkwardest runners in the entire NFL. Like, it looks like it hurts when he runs, okay? But he has the ability to do it. So I think he's going to have a couple of opportunities to get out of the pocket. So I do like that. And, of course, I'm on the Saints money line, man. I really do think that, although I'm not a fan of, how the run defense performed last week, should I say. And, obviously I'm a big Leonard Fournette guy. I still think we're going to have enough offensively to get over the hump. And AK being out was a problem for this guy. Like, if AK's out and this guy's quarterback, then it's like, he's going to have to throw the ball down the field. We don't want that to happen. So I think it's better suited that, Jameis is, more of a not corpse, I guess, should I say? He's just not a dead arm,
He's something, all right.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And by the way, not just that we'd said it, this is not an official play. It's very disrespectful. He's at +115 for a pick. I get it. He threw 30 interceptions. Okay. We all watched it. We all did. Okay. I get it. But +115? And he almost threw like 3 last week. So I get it. But damn, man. 115. I'm not saying it's official, but I'm like, damn, man. I just want y'all to respect my boy. So hopefully there's an opportunity for him to get a little bit of his respect back.
Rashad Bateman over Fournette. I couldn't go that far.
Yeah, it's a bet. I think it's a tough matchup for both. But you can't fade Fournette after going for $125.
Well,
we don't expect him to do that against. I don't expect that from him.
Well, and even more than that, though, even more than the yardage that he got over 90% of his team's carries, and he also got the bulk of the targets. I mean, he's got Rachaad White behind him, who's not ready for any nowhere near a full-time role. So volume alone says Fournette.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, those are all the games that we're going to cover today.
I got to go one more because we didn't cover in the Niners game. Jeff Wilson, fantasy value.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I didn't forget about that one. So Jeff Wilson, I'm expecting anywhere between 12 to 15 carries, probably 2 to 4 targets today. I would expect to see Debo a little bit more in the backfield. I would expect it to be some parts of the game. I would expect it to drive you mad because it's going to be a committee type of approach or a lot of 2-back, a lot of different gadget type, different formations. But, I think that Wilson is usable in a flex capacity. I think that he's much more valuable in non-PPR than PPR leagues. So I think if you're trying to decide between people that are comparable, the one thing I do think that Wilson has is that he does have touchdown upside, because when he was the main back last year, when there was injuries again, he did get a lot of the goal line work or work inside the red zone and then inside the 10. So if you want touchdown upside, go with Wilson. Just know that there's a higher bust potential for him than you would have with a few other guys in that same tier. So higher risk, but potentially higher reward.
Yes, sir. And like I said, that about wraps it up for us today, man. A couple of really good Monday night matchups tomorrow. Make sure you guys are tapped into Daily Bread Media. Make sure you guys are following the Players Ball podcast as well on Twitter. That's in Roddy's photo right under the Rey Mysterio mask. Other than that, best of luck to you and anybody who's gambling. Thank you for tapping in, tuning in. We did about 1:30 live the entire show. Appreciate everyone. And that's just on YouTube. Appreciate everyone tapping in. We made a lot of money for people last week. We're going to continue that trend. If your team is playing, best of luck. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, just whenever you're done, I just got a few more DFS plays for people.
For sure. Go ahead. Just drop it. We're just
yeah. So a couple more for DFS for you guys. I think that for a tournament play, I think for anything, I think Antonio Gibson makes a ton of sense. I actually said this to VIP. I said, talk about going from the penthouse to the outhouse back to the penthouse again. He's obviously taking advantage of a very tragic situation with Brian Robinson. However, he did a really nice job last week. He had 14 of 17 carries, 8 of 11 targets. And that's not too bad for a guy that was a kick returner a few months ago. The Lions defense just allowed 4 rushing touchdowns to the Eagles. I would put Antonio Gibson's ATD chances among the best of any running back starting today that's not Jonathan Taylor. I think that the combination of matchup, the combination of volume that he's getting, the combination of game flow projection, Antonio Gibson, ATD, I will take 100 times out of 100. I am trying to build as many lineups as I can with him in it. And when I have him as my RB2, RB3, he's in the starting lineup in every single league. The other one that I wanted to give out was I think this is a stacking opportunity. This is for larger tournaments only. I think you can stack Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk today pretty easily. I think that they're going to have super low ownership. Lance should probably be under 7 to 8%, and Ayuk should be under 5%. And when you have guys that we have a rushing upside from Lance and you have a touchdown upside from Ayuk in a game like they're going to see today, that's ginormous advantage in a GPP. I think if you do that, I think you can run it back. If you like the run it back strategy, which for those that don't know is to take a quarterback and receiver from one side and then take another receiver of some kind from the other side, you can run it back with pretty much anybody you want. You can run it back with Metcalf or Lockett, or you can take one of the next tier guys. So those are my but that's my sneaky could win you a GPP helicopter guy would be Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk. And so that's all I got for DFS.
Yes, sir. And if you're still in here, make sure you guys like the video, share it, get it out to your friends. Roddy, appreciate you. Make sure y'all kick it. Make sure y'all check out the Players Ball podcast, the Run for Cover podcast. Me and Kamish got you with some looks for the week. And that'll be it, man. If you tuned in today, hopefully you make some money. Again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you guys like the video, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, we appreciate you all and hope to see you, winning. Peace.
Good luck.
Who dat?